Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode number 3 of This Korean Life, coming to you from Ulsan City. Today's podcast is brought to you by Grappa Pizzeria. Grappa offers fresh salads, mouth-watering pastas, and the best pizzas in town. Mario and his staff will treat you to a fabulous Italian experience in the heart of Bangjin. Go visit and see why nonas all over Italy are recommending this place. Check out their address, menu, and more on Facebook or TripAdvisor. This podcast is also brought to you by Sticky Fingers. Open nightly from 7 p.m. Shill and his staff are ready to serve you hot food and cold drinks. Sticky's is well known as a place to enjoy live music, hang out with friends, and play games. Wednesday is wing night, and Friday offers 1+1 well cocktails until 11. It is located in the heart of the action, downtown Samsandong, next to Thursday Party and just behind Lotte Department Store. Check them out on Facebook for upcoming events like their weekly open mic. Today's guest is actually the owner and operator of Sticky Fingers. His name is Park Chung-sil. We had a great time talking with him, learning about his story, being raised in Busan, graduating from high school and university, not speaking a word of English, deciding to move to Ulsan, started a business with his mom, but followed his passion of playing music and opened his own bar, which is now one of the most popular and successful live music bars in Ulsan. I hope you guys enjoy listening.
You are now tuned into This Korean Life with your hosts, Brian and Nate.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of This Korean Life. Joining us today is the one and only Sticky Fingers Sajang extraordinaire, Mr. Chung-sil Park. Welcome.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. It sounds really weird, but thank you for inviting me. I'm kind of honored to join this conversation.
And our first Korean guest, so
yeah, see how it goes.
Good to have you on.
Yeah, thank you. My English not as good as you guys, but I can try to my best.
It's good enough. I don't even know what I was gonna say.
Anyways, I find that's something I always hear from Koreans. We've known each other for years now, and we've had countless conversations. It always boggles my mind why Koreans are so humble with my English isn't that good, but I'll do an hour and a half podcast with you. You'll be fine. Don't worry.
Okay, thank you.
Even Ban Ki-moon used to say that. Oh, my English isn't good, but I'm the head of the UN, and I'm going to do a speech in front of all world leaders for 2 hours. My English isn't good, though.
Yeah.
Anyways, Korean has great English. If you want to see English that isn't so hot, maybe China.
Okay.
You'll notice how difficult it is. I think lots of foreigners don't understand and don't recognize or realize how good the Korean English is, that almost somebody can help you anywhere you are.
Yeah,
go to China.
Yeah, that's true.
You find a very, very different situation.
I had a situation when I go to Japan. So we only can speak English so it doesn't have many people to the English conversation.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to things to live over there too as well.
I
was
always
shocked.
I always found as a rule, if I didn't know something or needed something, if you asked anyone that had a school uniform on or was under 20, they might giggle and laugh, but they would always probably be able to help you.
Yeah.
The older people were sometimes embarrassed and shy, but the young kids would always try and do their best to tell you directions or where it was. So
one shocking moment for me, actually, that Nate, that you introduced to me. I never knew that the older grandfathers could speak English well. I never associated them with speaking English, but we were at the archery. Remember when we went to that archery?
Yeah.
There's randomly on like a Wednesday morning, there was the archery world finals or something.
the preliminaries of the World Archery Championships.
Was that what it was?
Yeah.
But we went there early in the morning, and obviously being the only two foreigners sticking out like a sore thumb, within 10 minutes there was a couple old Korean grandpas sitting down beside us. Hey, Migu, are you? Do you speak English? Well, I speak a little bit, blah blah blah. And I was quite shocked to see the skill or even the willingness to in public to speak English. It was quite impressive.
Those guys always blow my mind, and now I think I run into a lot of mothers that speak very good English. And there's the odd businessman, but I just don't run into them as much. Yeah. I run into a lot of mothers between schools and work and private lessons, and but the grandpas would be number 2. 70-year-old guys who worked side by side during the military days with the Americans, and they speak awesome English, and they could tell you stories for years and years. They're so intriguing and interesting for me. I love talking to those guys.
And that's, I mean, they definitely acquired the language not through a book. That's through real life experience, and when it's maybe some life or death, you can understand the language well.
Well, going on that one, I used to, when my wife's grandmother passed away last year, but whenever we went over there, I always had a million questions to ask because she lived through the war, and we didn't have that opportunity in Canada to grill and question our grandparents. And this is still recent history here. Yeah. But nobody would talk to grandma.
Yeah.
None of the grandchildren. Almost nobody would really talk to her, and I felt sad and bad that there was no. And I always would ask my wife, "Can you help translate?" I can understand probably 20% of grandma, and I don't know if she understands any of me because her Satori is so strong and the dialect is so different. But I wanted to ask so many questions because I see her as a Korean encyclopedia. And my wife always bugged me, why do you want to know this? Just read it.
They want to be the kind of they doesn't want to know about the sad kind of story. Like also Korean, maybe this is culture thing. Also they don't want to be in kind of it's like a victim or like a making people talk about their like kind of sad history things. That's why they kind of it's just words, and then they doesn't really kind of
they want to focus on the positive.
Yeah. So that's why it's kind of my grandma is passed away about like 4 years ago, and then she is born about 37 something like that.
She was
so my mom is born about in the war. It's
right.
90. My mom is born is 1951.
Okay, yeah.
She was born is 1951.
Yeah, right in the middle.
Yeah, it's like through all of the war things stuff.
Right.
But I never heard anything about like a Korean war. My grandma's. They not spoke it at all.
But that's what I think is awesome, because you guys have the opportunity to reach those people who are still, they don't have dementia or Alzheimer's yet, or lots of them. It's not that long ago. Like you say, your mother was born in the war. That's very recent. Yeah. But I found even if I'm asking general questions about random, just not positive or negative, just about did grandpa go to school, or what was life like, or how much did something cost, there was no interest. So I was going to ask you, what kind of relationship did you have with your grandparents?
It's like my grandparents, like we talk about like a current issue, like a listening, like kind of happy thing. So also I never think about like should I ask the Korean War or something like that, but we never talk about that kind of past about things. Usually like how's these days life about the current issue. Blah, blah.
Good. Finished.
Maybe.
Because I find there's no connection from the past to the present.
Yeah.
Well, but
Grandma didn't know about hand phones, and she doesn't have any connection because of the prominent rise of Korea so fast. She has no connection to what my wife, the life is like, the smartphones, it's hard for her to imagine that my wife is a civil servant, as a teacher, because women didn't even get a chance to go to school back then.
Yeah, I think also Korean, Western culture about the parenting. Korean people, like my grandma and my mom generation, how to raise kid about parenting is so important about the fully education to their children, because they haven't been ever. Not ever, but they haven't been had a good
Had a
chance
chance,
to
yeah.
the
Right.
had
That's
a
just-
educating.
That's the pendulum swinging back.
And
It
then
makes no
they
sense.
even they work like 18 hours a day, and 6 hours sleep. But they want to be that their kid is going to sending to the school, and then that's why it's kind of they want to be the fully education,
Right.
be the better person to the my like
Than the generation before.
yeah, generation people, because they have they know about the
Very difficult times.
very difficult to living and really poor and starving. Like they couldn't have a meal about like 2 meal a day is really good.
Right.
Like that's why they want to be in their next generation had a more chance to the educated it.
But do you
being
think now it's swung way too far the other way?
I think so.
Because it's
Now
very,
too-
very
too
different
many,
now.
Too many educating now.
Not just too much education, but lazy people. And I don't just mean Korea, in our countries as well, but lazy people and everything. The kids feel that, Mom, I need an iPhone 10. You're in grade 4. You have a better phone than me, and I've been working my whole life for my whatever this basic phone is. So I'm always shocked when I see all the kids that have way better phones than I do and think, do mom and dad really think the times were that hard that their kids should have the best phone on the market in grade 2 and 3? It's amazing.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I think it's also the back in the day, like the Korean, they have a lot of siblings. They are a big family country because we are really poor. Like we compare the Cambodia current like this time,
Right.
they cannot register their kids born about go to the report about the the
Right.
district office when their kid is like grow up about over 3 years and
Then they report.
Then they report.
back in Korea exactly same. My mom is actual like the Korean like a civil number, like a social security number, whatever. And my mom's birthday is different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's lots of those stories. We hear them creep up.
Yeah.
I'll give you another example. Tomorrow is Dad's 70th birthday.
Yeah.
My understanding is 60 was the biggest one because that's 5 cycles of the Chinese calendar.
Yeah.
But 70 is even
It's like
a
a bigger-
bigger one.
yeah.
But my father and him are both born the same time,
Yeah.
1950.
Yeah.
They both had their 50th. My father's
guys
birthday is in June.
Yeah.
So it's only a couple months apart.
Yeah.
So it's very obvious for me and my wife. And when they met the first time, Sadong, and wow, we're Donggap, same age. And so that was a thing we noticed right away. But now my dad's turning 69 this year, and father-in-law's turning 70 tomorrow. So I think they went to the normal age for 60 because it's a real official.
Yeah.
And now they've gone back to the Korean style, and now he's 70 and my dad's 69 again.
I think that's maybe the actual born year is a little different than in paper.
So this is what I'm saying. Yeah, they say, oh, well, his birth certificate says this, but he was born here. They didn't know if he would survive, so they didn't register him until later. So they just made up his birth date. And
yeah, they also like at that times like really like far from. So you have to drive, you have to take a walk. It's kind of a little bit like a
inconvenient, expensive.
So they're just like, forget it. We can report next
Yeah.
next year, whatever.
when we have the next kid, we'll do one plus one and bring 2 of them.
Yeah. So it's like a kind of a common thing about the back in the day. That's why I guess.
I almost, I was lucky enough to live with my grandpa for the last 3 or 4 years he was alive, and had lots of cool conversations with him. And I almost envy the life that they lived. I mean, sans technology, I would like to have my computer and all the modern amenities, but I mean, just like his hobbies or kind of his lifestyle was so cool, listening to him tell me stories about, and these are skills I think that are lost these days. He had a vegetable garden. What I mean, in Canada, I don't know personally any of my friends, maybe a few here and there, but that can grow their own vegetables. And a Saturday for him and his buddies used to be, they're gonna they'll slaughter a cow. His buddies will come over, they drink some wine, chop up the cow, cut the shoulder, make some sausages, get the steak, and it was a whole day activity. It's
Just much more basic and simple living.
yeah.
The more things we acquire, the more complicated it gets. The more money you need to fix them all.
Yeah.
And it's just that consumer lifestyle now where it's just get more, and then you got to fix them and pay for them. And
But I mean, we had like he was from the old countries, from Italy, and much like Korea, it's the culture is very centered around food and in having meals together and being kind of having a connection with your food. These days, man,
that's what happens when you don't have phones to look at all day long. I mean,
No phone on the dinner table.
I think that's most countries before electronics.
Nowadays, like they just like having the dinner. We don't have a phone on the table. That's like a rule these days.
Yeah.
it should be good.
Yeah.
Lord.
As it should be. But it's not just the table anymore. Now it's business meetings, it's offices, it's now they tell you don't even have your phone on the desk at the office because it's 5 minutes of work, 2 minutes of phone, 5 minutes. They're so distracting. So
And then what is the parents like I saw all of the coffee shop or like the restaurant. Mom always give the kid about the cell phone. So
I couldn't be more conservative on the topic.
I think we both disagree on that one.
Because they don't, the kid doesn't know about, but the parents kind of convenient because the kids is silence.
Right.
That's why they give it like
100%.
Yeah.
But that's silence for those 5 minutes or 10 minutes. You got to have the long view of, if I teach him to be able to occupy himself or sit down and listen to an adult's conversation, in the future they'll have that skill or that ability to to sit still.
Kids are not eating without phone because they just like, I want a phone. They just crying a lot.
Oh, that drives me crazy, man.
We just went up. We went up to Incheon last weekend, my wife and I, and we went to a concert. And after the concert, we went out for a couple drinks, and there must have been a tour there. And we were in Songdo, so it's not a big place, but there must have been a tour because I never saw a place. I mean, we got there around 10:30 maybe at night. Anyways, I never saw a place full of families, like a bar full of families at 10:30 at night. There must have been 20 kids. And it was all families, like mom and dad, 2 kids, mom, dad, 1 kid. And every single one of them had a tablet or a phone. The parents were having the time of their life out with all of their, I don't know if it was their neighborhood friends or whatever, but they were on tour from another city. I had asked the owner, I said, are all these guys together? This is really unusual. He said, yes, it's a tour. Every kid was occupied, quiet, and they were like angels. The parents were laughing and drinking and shooting soju.
But that
and I
seems
thought,
reasonable.
wow, I just can't imagine my kid being up this late at night. But if this is your only chance of the year to go on a tour with your family and your friends and your whatever, maybe that's a time where you do pull it out.
That's what we should evaluate each. You can't look at every kid with a phone and chastise the parents like you're a terrible parent. But you should have, each individual situation should be evaluated independently. But in this case, this sounds like we're out on a tour. Well, let the kids have it. And
I think if I'm at home in the summer in Canada and I'm meeting my cousins or my brothers and sisters and we're all out and we're enjoying ourselves, and they start whining, maybe I would pull it out and here, okay, let us enjoy our time. It's only once every couple years.
In moderation, absolutely.
For me to visit with family and friends. So
also, if you grow up over like about 9 years old, or like after 9 years old, and then you can control. They're not really like a kind of a bothering, but it's like they're like a 1 year old, like a 2 year old kid. They just like give it to them because they cry a lot.
Sure.
That's why.
The same grandfather that I spoke about earlier, he said, when if you want the tree to grow straight, when it's young, you got to put the sticks up and make it grow straight. Once it starts growing sideways and it's old, man, you can't make it bad. So I think I'm very conservative in with the kids with the technology and phones, and I just don't think it's good for you, man.
Part of it is definitely important, but not at such a young age. Maybe introducing them to it. The world is going to be a high tech world. I mean, going forward, so they're going to have to get to know it, get used to it. But some of these guys that know how to work the TV and the hand phone better than their parents.
WH.
I mean, that's scary.
World Health Organization just didn't they just release the document that there should be 0 screen time for any kid under 5?
I don't know.
Don't quote me on that. I think it was WHO. But that was just recent in the news.
Yeah.
Fake news. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway.
Okay, let's get into your main deal, the bar. Sticky Fingers.
Yeah.
Where? I mean, well-known place in town.
Yeah.
The demographics of the visitors have changed over the years. Tell us a little bit about it. How long have you had it? Where'd the name come from?
Yeah, the name come from is Rolling Stones album, obviously. But lots of people thinking like, this bar is kind of really kiki or like kinky.
I was going to say, you said obviously, but I don't think for a lot of people it is obvious. For people who know the Rolling Stones or grew up with them or listen to them, but I think that's probably less than 20% of your guests know the Rolling Stones.
I named this bar after
That's
my high school
That's
party.
true. And then I've been bar open since like 2012 November. I know exactly day too, like 19th November.
Good for you. That's awesome.
Yeah, so we've been here again now. Is going for the 6 years. They have lots of things going on about like past and maybe in the future. I met a lot of good people, lots of like a good kind of memories too. I met my wife and my bar, and
She was a customer?
yeah, she was customer, and usually
How many did you have to hit on before you found one to marry?
I tried.
It's okay, you don't have to tell
try
us.
to remember, but usually back in the day, like early 2012, you guys already know, they have a lot of huge, big foreigner community in Ulsan. Like
Right.
the number of the foreigners in Ulsan is nowadays comparison is like a huge difference. Maybe
Absolutely.
double or maybe triple.
Let's
Way
say
more than
Western foreigners.
yeah, Western foreigners.
Because I think the Southeast Asians continue to rise, but
Yeah,
most
yeah,
of the
yeah,
Western foreigners
Western foreigners
decline
like
lots.
a teacher or like expert engineers kind of things.
Oh.
And then I opened the bar in 2012. I came to the Ulsan 2009, and at that time I just for the business my come from the whole family, especially my mom. And I had a business, like a kind of a soju restaurant business in the Busan.
You were the owner, or you're working for your parents?
Owners.
Wow.
And then learning with my mom too as well. But she want to move to the Ulsan. Okay, let's go to the Ulsan. And we learning to the kind of a Korean noodle restaurant, like about 2.5 years.
When you came to Ulsan?
Yeah. And that times I was in Busan. I always I had like a kind of a bartender and managing. It's like a foreigner bar, like a Western foreigner bar, whatever.
So you were doing the gogichib and the bar?
No, like
Restaurant, right? Noodle.
before the time travel, before the like a 2000, maybe after my military service finished, I had like a university student. Back to the university, I had a part-time job about like a foreigner bar in Busan, like
okay.
a PNU,
Okay,
Busan
yeah.
National University area. And then I was shocked. That time's like I couldn't speak English that much, and then I saw like real time is foreign in my face, like so many people.
Right.
I was like, should learn some like English something. Okay, at that time I focused about like English, about foreign culture, and that time I played the drum too, like in the band. So we had a gig in the bar too as well. So people like us, and we had I had a chance to spoke with them, and then see how it goes about the foreigner culture thing and the bar. And then I working there, and I learned something, and then I moved to the Ulsan, and I like to play the music thing too, and then doesn't many chance to see that.
Right.
First time came, and I went to the couple bars and the beat bar. I think first time I beat bar in the Samsung basement.
The basement smoke
Yeah,
hall.
they
Scary.
look like a really similar vibe when I see it in the Busan first time when walking in the bar. Like
Right.
exactly like a sketchy,
Yeah,
like a dark,
dirty,
people
dark.
dancing, like a foreigner, they crazy drinking. And then I searching around like old downtown too. And then I went to the Royal Anchor, and that time it's like there bar called the Basamer. It's like owned by the Filipinos.
Yes.
So they had like an open mic night. I can hear about outside there's some like a live music sound. So I bump it like open, get into it, and then see some peoples and they have open mic night. I jump into the drum and play some like a jam too.
On open mic night?
Yeah.
Nice.
And then I met some friends, and then have like a regular things going on. So I met lots of friends there. Then I see about like a situation in Ulsan about the foreign community a little bit, and went to the Purple Haze and then Benchwarmer.
That's all the places I grew up in Korea.
Yeah, and then so I came to the now I was thinking a lot about maybe I opened a bar in the Samsandong, because Samsandong doesn't have many places to put live music, anything.
Yeah, not much
So
at all.
yeah, that's why it's like a first time, and then I decided to open the Samsandong and learn the business.
So what happened to the noodle shop?
Noodle shop we sold out. We sold out. It's like not good at it, like a business as well. So we decided to sold out, and I asked my mom, I want to do this kind of business, and then she said, okay, you can do whatever you want to do. And then I searched a lot, and then find the spot. That time, first time I opened the bar in 2012. That area is so quiet compared to now.
Right.
So there nothing here. Like,
Back
this
then,
like
the party was on the other side of the street.
Yeah, it's like behind the Hyundai department store area.
There was a good wall bar there.
Yeah.
You say what was it called?
Beat Bar.
Beat Bar.
And W Garden,
Yeah.
whatever.
Right.
And Golden Eagles too as well.
Yeah, it was all on the other side.
Yeah, there.
You're right.
And then, so I opened it because the location is cheap, as the rent is cheaper than the other side. I look it up, lots of place too. But okay, I opened it, and that time it's like maybe 95% is Western customers. It's like a Korean couldn't find the place at all, because that area is quiet too. Like only people know about this place that foreigners came to the.
So you had prior experience in the business industry with the restaurant in Busan, the noodle restaurant. What did family and friends think? I'm curious. When you decide you're going to open a bar, I mean, I think there's a lot of restaurants. A bar is kind of a different style, a different route, because it's always at night. And there's also lots of them in Korea. They're on every other street or every other block. So what was it like for your family and friends and people who knew you?
I think they already knew my kind of things about my parents doesn't really care, and my friends, okay, like my Korean friends too, they already know about I was play the band in the foreigner bar in Busan, so they not really care about me. And then I opened it. They also really doesn't like the people about hanging out, bunch of foreigners drinking, and they just like a little bit weird.
Yeah.
Being there, so okay, but I already know about their kind of how foreigners like it, about the venue, about the vibe, about the music thing, about how to people make them too comfortable with it, like music wise. Yeah. That's why I kind of focus on the business like that first time, and then kind of that time I had like a shorter money. Couldn't fully decoration that much. Sure. So I kind of make the money, like invest a little bit, change a little bit, change a little bit, and change a little bit. And now we have like a trend, like a lot of craft beer things. I can put on the craft beer machine, and then nowadays like a kind of more Korean customer coming to my bar as well, because the venue, the area is kind of a little bit busy than compared to like since I opened that time.
Yeah, right. Cool. What being in playing in a band and playing the drums growing up, especially in Korea, 99% of the people I talk to are very into K-pop or know that. Where did your early musical influence come from? How did you or what were your most inspirational bands growing up? Who did you listen to, or was that in your older life?
I think I started to play drum when I was 20, and I listened to a lot of like LA metal. They call it like Bon Jovi, like like a Guns N' Roses.
It's called
like
LA metal.
They call it LA metal in Korea, literally, because they from LA, I guess. Yeah, Motley Crue, they from LA too. So
80s hair band.
yeah, so I grew up like listen to that music, and then my kind of senior friends, older friends, interest couple different music, like the Beatles and Rolling Stones, like older music, like Who and what is it, Led Zeppelin kind of things. I listen to a lot of music, and then I play the drum and kind of cover that kind of songs too as well. And then when I working in the bar manager in the Western culture bar, they call it the Soul Train. They gone now, but that changed my music kind of taste. I listened to lots of different type of music, didn't know at all, listen at all, Bob Dylan, Leonard Cohen. I have no idea, who's that? Neil Young kind of thing, because the owner loved that country music. So I listen to lots of different type of music, like a hip hop, it doesn't have a filter. It's I just listen what I like it. I'm not I always listen to this type of music. I just listen to everything.
That's good.
So that kind of make us more open mind for the foreign people. Too.
I think for me, I had a similar. I mean, not exactly, but growing up in my little part of Canada, there, we listened to one kind of music, and that was kind of for my region or city or whatever. That was the popular radio station, the popular bands. But moving overseas and living abroad for so long really opened my mind to so many different kinds of music, especially living in Africa and then the K-pop stuff here. And I've seen so many different kinds of music, and I still have preferences. But when I came to Korea, there was no rap.
Yeah.
And then Epic High, right?
Yeah.
Epic High was one of the first groups, and now they've kind of caught on. 10 years ago, and now there's a lot more rap and hip hop.
Now it's the trend is the hip hop things about going on.
But to see the evolution of music that, there's no such thing as country music in Korea.
I was in it, but it's that's the kind of maybe lots of people think it's kind of protest music because 1970s, Korea is kind of dictator. There are lots of a democracy reaction thing.
Yeah.
They're using the music with that kind of country pop something a lot. So that's why people country music. They are part of them. Because modern generation nowadays, they don't know.
Yeah.
They don't know that much.
Well, one of the funny things when I came here was my family had moved to the prairies in Canada, and I never knew anything about country music. I knew a couple of the famous people, but once I lived on the prairies for 4 or 5 years, wow, that's all I listened to all the time. You were in farmer country, and that music became my favorite music ever. And then I came to Korea, and I still had some of that farmer music in me. And these guys are all from the city, and they laugh, and they say, "You're crazy. What are you listening to? Why do you want to hear that song?" But not only that, it started to grow on them. And then a couple of the buddies came from AJ, and a couple of the buddies from Edmonton came, and they listened to some farmer country music. And then some of these big city guys started hearing, "Oh, that's a cool song. That's an awesome song. Wow." And I remember all the old guys, Toby Keith and Alan Jackson, and they really started to catch on to those guys. So I think moving and traveling and stuff really influenced my musical taste and the things that I like.
Yeah,
so.
That's true. As I also these days kind of sad about a kind of live music scene in Ulsan. And then back in the day, there are lots of musicians come from other country. They are technically musician, but they just teaching the kid about English too. But the scene is Busan and Ulsan, because I know there's a lot of people in Busan still. And then the music scene is going die so quickly, because my opinion, why they going to die about live music scene, because they listen to their people, they listen to the music more like a hip hop kind of one person music, a producer, a DJ.
Yeah.
So you don't have to play make the band. You can be in a one person a band. So that's why it doesn't many people learning to play the guitar when they were young and played bass and played the gig around. Not many people does that anymore.
So I got a question for you. The concert I went to see on the weekend was Ed Sheeran.
Yeah.
I've heard his music. I've listened to his music a lot. I really enjoy him. I think he's very talented.
Yeah.
But I never knew he was a one-man show.
Oh.
So I know you're in the band. I've seen you guys and stuff. But he played for 2 hours by himself.
Yeah.
No band, no drum, no anything.
Yeah.
And then you hear his music all the time and you think, wow, it sounds like there's backup singers or someone on the drums, or he does all of that by himself. And he has, I don't know if I'm saying it right, it's some kind of looper.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Yeah, looper. Yeah,
A looper.
The machine.
And I'm familiar with it with the bebop, hip hop,
Yeah.
chuka chuka, those kind of guys, and they loop all their sounds in. But I've never seen the modern pop guys as a one-man band. The only guy I know that's ever been one man for me was Elton John. Him and his piano, and that was it. He never had.
Elton John had backup guitarist and percussion.
But when I saw him in a concert,
he can
it was
do it.
Elton John and his piano. It was
Okay.
him singing.
Oh, okay.
Sure, I mean, and Ed Sheeran has a piano in some of his songs too. But he entertained a crowd of whatever 30, 40, 50,000 people. Him and his guitar, and that was it.
Yeah.
Wild. Is that? Do you guys? Would you use that? Do you know? Like, is
No,
that common?
I already know about the kind of things already because they are the current style. Because Ed Sheeran, he get famous about because he is a good writer songs, a good voice. Also, he can do himself about lots of things, like himself. I saw so many people using that kind of a different pedal. And then also these days have two-man band a lot too. Drummer, guitar. Because guitar using the bass, there are lots of pedal, and they're using the bass amp and the guitar amp. They connected together. They played like a song a lot.
It's
like
incredible.
Like a Black Key.
Yeah,
they are a two-man band, like kind of things. There are looper things, like there are lots of people using it before. Like usually rapper does that, but you can do the lots of things about the technology. Back in the day, they don't have kind of things, so they always be in the band, and you had a front man.
So I wondered for him if it's awesome that you're always the center of the show, or is it lonely that you have no one to rock with, but to see him, it was the weirdest, not the weirdest, but the most awkward part that I found that I've never seen at a concert before was he showed us at the beginning how the looper works, and he said all of this is live. You'll notice. Every song he started with 30 or 40 seconds of just him playing around, either tapping his guitar or strumming it, and then nobody would know what the song was because you're not used to hearing to the background. You're used to the main song and everything together.
He records it right on stage.
So the first 30 or 40 seconds, he's just, and he can record, I think, just the sound.
I think
because he would talk to us. This is a song from when I was young, and then he would just loop
that around.
the
a
music.
looper is you can layer like a pie something. You can push it like a button and then make the beats burst a tempo and it cover a couple chords and then he just turning to the all of thing and then
he would get the audience to participate and he would loop that in and then he would start the song and everybody goes wow because they finally recognized the song. But the first 40 seconds he's talking to us and he's playing his guitar, tapping it, and it's just recording the sound of just that.
It's like a looper thing.
So it sounds like he's cool, just hanging out, talking to us and telling us a story. And he's at the same time he's pushing the pedals and looping his stuff in. And then he would start the song and you go, wow, I know that song. But I didn't know the last 40 seconds of whatever he was doing.
That's like a base layer thing. He's good at it. Lots of people people does that a lot, but he's got really famous. That's it. But it's kind of a style, the acoustic guitar, and he played it. That's why he got really famous as well because he's good voice, and I think he made lots of great songs too as well.
They showed his looping device thing, and I thought, if I don't forget, I think there was 6 or 8 pedals on it. And I thought, wow, that must be... It's like playing a piano with your feet while you're playing the guitar and singing.
Lots of people does that. Even my guitarist Jason, he had maybe 7 or 8 pedals.
Wow.
Yeah, it's using the lots of different the sounds to make the kind of change thing too as well.
The other thing that was awesome was that he would loop the music and then he would put his guitar away and he would just come out and sing. And the music plays in the background and he just played it and looped it and now he gets to just sing. It was really, really impressive.
I saw so many concerts like that. Bon Iver Bon
Iver,
Bon Iver, he does that too. Like he's just like a voice looping thing. Like all of the harmonize about it.
Yeah.
He does that, and then that covers the same time, one time, boom.
It sounds like he's got a choir in the background,
Yeah,
and it
yeah.
was just him
It's
and
like
like
a-
four
yeah.
different
Yeah.
octaves or whatever
Yeah.
doing the harmony, and it was really impressive.
That's awesome. And that gives you more appreciation too for, I mean, they have the technology these days. You can do it in a one-man band. When you go back to like Jimi Hendrix of a band with 3 members, and you listen to that, it sounds like whoa. It's like a wall of music coming from.
Yeah, that's like a music thing is like a huge thing about like my life too, and then the tool, like the music is tool about getting to the somebody like make the friends, like a relationship. That's like you can start with a conversation with that kind of common
Always,
music.
always.
That's why it's a kind of I make a lot of friends about the foreign friends in Ulsan, and then I open the bar, and a lot of people like us. I think maybe kind of clean and doesn't much like a kind of a what is it like a touch the interrupt to the people, and also they need I think they want to be a little bit separate about when they go out about some people told me some people told me like they doesn't want to see that they're like a Korean coworker,
Right.
like a Korean like a students, because I'm gonna smash it. And they doesn't want to see my like a drunken behavior, and they want to be in a little bit like a freedom. Free. That's why they come to like my bar, like because all of the foreigner they
Nothing to worry about.
nothing to worry about,
And no one going to judge them.
yeah, that's true. Also,
Because they're there for the same reason.
They can become alone, and then they think they already know the people, but they're there, so they can jump into the conversation, like a social acting. I
That
guess.
sounds like my wife. I thought when I met her, she was a super foodie, and we would go on dates. I didn't have a car then; she did have a car, and she'd bring me to these secret restaurants in the mountainside. And I thought, wow, how does she know? It reminded me of my father and all these special secret restaurants he knew. And I thought, how does she know all these secret places? And I thought she was a real foodie and knew her stuff, but it wasn't until after a few months or whatever that if she got caught in public with me, that the whole city would be talking about her as a teacher. And she was embarrassed to be out in public with me. I thought she was a food connoisseur, and I was completely wrong, because she thought if any principal or fellow teacher saw her and everyone would be talking.
It's like a mistress.
Same thing. She wanted to be out of the eye. She wanted to feel free and not worry about who's watching her.
Yeah.
And
you
then
have to go out of town a lot, I guess.
oh, we just got married quick, and then it fixed that problem.
Yeah, that's how started our business wise, and then we still survive, and then they have a couple like a good like a friendship and the farewell a lot. Now I'm kind of a little bit numb about like people leaving because I'm get really used to it.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you still talk to many of the people who have left?
Yeah. They still in the social media. I posted something and they just reply, and we had a chat at a kind of a social media thing, and some voice chat and video chat a lot. It's kind of things good because it has social media, but things a little bit bad about have social media thing too.
It's very basic conversation.
Yeah.
It's good if there's no customers. You can chat all the ones that aren't here.
Yeah, that's true. And then kind of things, good about being the business owner. It gets stressed too as well, because the time these days in Ulsan, the economy is not as good as it used to be.
Right.
And comparison maybe 2014 or 2015, there are lots of business going on, and
it was easy.
For example, there used to be about 1,000 engineer. Now probably 20. That's why it's kind of a good or bad things. But I try to created a more a Korean customers welcome to. Right. But now it's lots of Korean customer too as well.
It's evolved.
And lots of young people sometimes the old generation they come to as well, because they kind of curious about these guys, what's going on these
Right.
guys.
It's
And
different,
they-
I wanna see.
Yeah, they want comfortable, and then I think yesterday, last night, they are like a couple Korean old couple. They come like listen to music. They drink some beers, so that kind of things. And then weekends, like a lot of young people, like that area is now is fully like a 20s.
Right.
Like you guys kind of afraid to come down. There are too many kids. It might be they are my students.
Yeah,
So,
often I've seen my students down
yeah.
there.
So
when your bar first opened, it was only drinks, and now, like you said, it's kind of evolved, and you have a food menu.
Yeah.
Was that I know, talking to other bar owners here, adding the food menu, was that a tactic to draw the Koreans in for the anju, or was that a legal thing?
I thought you told me one time it was the government guys came and said, if this is the place, you have to serve food. Or
yeah, definitely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, business
kind of worked out.
Yeah, business certificated. I have to be the first time it's episode 2. First time I tried the make the like a license, a business license, like a business. Korean has you can have a business reporting license from the like a district office, and then business certificated, like a liquor license, they from the tax office.
Right.
So they're separate. So first time I opened and then go to the Namgu district office hygiene department. They take care of everything.
Right.
And then they just what is menu? They ask me what is they look at the facility first, and they had inspected everything.
Shrimp chips.
And then I had what is it? What is menu? It's like I had like a hamburger, and there was a hamburger too, and a hamburger or like a
Pretzels.
Yep. No, like a fried chicken, like a French fry, cheese fry, blah blah. And then they said no, because you don't have rice in the menu.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
I remember you telling me this story.
Rice, you have to.
It's not a meal. Without rice, it's not a meal. It's a snack or something.
You have to be in menu with rice. The hamburger is not a. It's a snack. Like they have a snack business.
Yes.
Like the certificate too.
Yeah. Or anju business or something.
And then the McDonald's, like a coffee shop, there's the business certificate is they cannot sell alcohol, liquor.
No, okay.
Because they are like a snack business, I think maybe this is maybe not good enough to English, but like a snack thing.
Different kind of license.
And then I put on like a kind of a bokkeumbap. I'm not gonna put it on that menu later. I just fake it. I put on lots of
hamburger with a spoon of rice.
And the hamba steak, whatever. And then it's kind of the beef.
I hope they're not listening.
Yeah. beef rice, like a fried rice thing, and then they give you the license after that, and I just erased it and make another menu. And
that was your official chalkboard.
Yeah, and then then it's they give you the liquor license for tax office. And that's kind of a weird. Nowadays, maybe did it change? Maybe I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
Funny.
Yeah, that's
I
kind of funny. Really funny.
I wonder how technical they would be. I mean, literally.
I have made a fake fold about the front, like a fake seat about to make the menu and the front the wall about the bar.
Yeah.
And this is our menu.
I remember seeing a new menu sign one time and thinking,
and have some bokkeumbap? No.
And then actually I forgot about to get a little bit, and some Korean guys show up. Can you make the bokkeumbap? And oh no,
this
is this is
Well,
not menu. That's why the happening back in the day.
Bokkeumbap is now code for Hogarden on tap.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy cooking? Did you like cooking? Once you started, burgers and stuff, but I know your menu's expanded, and now you have some people who come there just to get those kind of pub foods.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy that? Do you do most of the cooking, or?
I do most of the cooking. I enjoy the cooking, but I tried to good at it, but tried to invent more menu for the business these days, because like you cannot only like survive with only like the alcohol or buy.
Right, yeah, you got to evolve.
Now is the competition is going on.
Sure.
Like you will see they have a lot of different good bar.
Yeah.
It surround my bar, and also the areas get like developed a lot.
Sure.
Also these days people just go about like randomly they find somebody about really nice place about the social media. They even if they're like a really tiny alley, they find it.
Yeah.
Because
And as soon as they send one tweet or follow, everybody starts, and it becomes really trendy.
Now is customers. Usually, customers just go find something. Now is they searching first and then come.
Right. But I think that's a testament to the business you run, because in this day and age, and in Korea is incredible for how fast they open and close.
Yeah.
You've been around 6-7 years, and it's been fairly steady, a few up and downs. But I mean, the bar next door, what's it called?
Thursday party.
No.
The
The
third floor or something. The
brew dog.
Oh, brutal.
Well, no.
No. Thinking one.
Thinking 101.
Yeah.
I mean, but just for example, and I mean, there's so many other ones that have opened and closed in all parts of the town,
Yeah, I
not
think-
just Samsan, but
but
to be open for as long as you have, I think is
I
quite
saw,
awesome.
Yeah, I saw like I think my bar is kind of the oldest restaurant in my district now.
6 years record.
Because like I can see that people just like really easy to going to bed, like new things come, like Korea is like a trendy
Absolutely.
Right.
trendy country. In my friend told me like in Seoul, sometimes Itaewon, sometimes like now is no one go to Itaewon that much. They like go to different because this place is hip. Hip
Right.
place.
Yeah.
So they're trendy. The Ulsan is trendy for the restaurant, for the like some things go up really well, and then everybody follow it, and then
Just as fast as they come, they're gone.
Yeah.
And you got to know when to get in, when to get out.
Like a survivor.
What I wonder too about the people opening the bars, if their passion is like if their passion is is actually serving the people and enjoying the atmosphere, or if it's completely for monetary reasons. Oh, if I open a bar, I can make money. It seems like you've stuck around because you're authentic, you're genuine, you enjoy the music and the serving and keeping in contact with people. I think that's probably a reason why you're still doing well.
Yeah, I think that also is like my good asset, like a connection with the people and the supporting things too as well. So my bar is like a most like at least now is like 70% is just like a foreigner Western people come to like they enjoyed it, and then I try to like helping to the people as well, and then some things events try to like maybe kind of donating things stuff. I always supporting to the people because I get something from them, so I have to like supporting things stuff too as well. That's kind of a good relationship.
Is that a hint that me and Brian should come down more often?
Yeah, you can do that.
Sil is one of our top supporters for We Hope. He's always contributed, never said no, and he's been a great guy. Yeah. But Brian and I with the kids definitely don't get down there very much because we're really busy these days. But
yeah, I think I'm not complaining about you guys not coming that much. Because the other alcoholics, I have so many. So you have nothing to worry about. Like the connection is really important. It's connection, and make the another connection. It's like a chain.
Sure.
Like people
network. Right?
Yeah, people just they had a great time. Like my place, they had telling to you should go that place.
Right.
Yeah.
And then. So someone come to the Ulsan or like this country just for the business or like just travel. They just came because they have like internet. They searching it. Oh, this place. I saw so many the professional the athletic peoples. They just hang out because this is why not? And then some different country.
Well, even I brought Michael and a couple of hockey guys that have come from Canada.
Yeah.
They stay at the hotel next door there. It's close. That's where I'm going on a weeknight. Is your place the best place for me to have a beer? And then the next 2 or 3 times they came back, and the guys from Laval University who came, they go to your place even without me and without calling me because I brought them there last time. But
yeah, they just hanging out. Like they like comfortable with it. Like it's like
except for the night that I came in and there was some death metal going on and you couldn't hear or see it. I thought the old couple you mentioned earlier, I thought, well, they got there on a good night with some nice live music and, you know, a set for 20, 30 minutes, fine. But one night I was in there with some heavy death metal and I thought,
that's like
what time does this finish? Because I'm going to go home. This is crazy.
I think that is a good thing or bad thing about the live music. It's like my opinion, it used to be I like the like a rock and roll music thing stuff.
I like rock and roll, but Slipknot is a little.
But it's like you have the good conversation. Like some people doesn't like the rock and roll music thing, like a live music thing.
Right.
They just hanging out.
Yeah.
And then, but that's why I say like a different week, different concept of the live band as well. We have like sometimes like a jazz band, sometimes sometimes like the.
We saw a really good jazz band there not long ago.
No, that was New Year's when you proposed to your wife.
Oh,
but that was it. That was
no.
Nice
That's the kind of a electronic pop kind of band.
I've seen some really cool bands at your place.
They have lots of like a different type. Also, this is a good way to the advertisement for the because we have lots of good indie Korean band come from through our place.
Yeah, I've heard fabulous ones at your place.
They get really famous too now in the Korean indie scene. So other band contact me first about can I go to the place to you guys place sometime.
Nice.
So that's connection to invite from the Busan, Daegu, sometimes from the Seoul. And then
when they come, do you have to pay them?
Sometimes I pay them for a travel fee something. Usually my bar is like a no cover because I went to Seoul one bar and they are live music bar. It's like a jazz bar, and they no cover, but they like a decent band play.
Right.
But they had the donation pay. So if they liked the band, they pay the money in the box. So I like that system because people kind of hesitated to pay even if 5,000 won, they didn't hesitated it.
You probably get half the people.
Yeah, but it's like sometimes we have like a cover. So maximum is 5,000 won. That's my rule because you can pay the 5,000 won just like a donation thing easily.
Yeah,
and then
cost of a drink.
Yeah, so they liked play the bands, they paid the money about the box, put on the box, and then.
So is it easy to always have a steady flow of various different kinds coming in?
I can spend some money about my pocket for invite the people about the bands things. It's okay.
And do you think that you get a lot more clientele when the bands are there, or when you so and so is coming to town to play this Saturday? Do you feel that directly impacts the amount of people that come, or no?
I think they're like up and down, but nowadays I had every Saturday they had like a live music, so they think they have live music in this bar every Saturday night.
Nice.
So they just come no matter what. Sometimes off, sometimes on. Yeah. So it's different type of introduce the different type of music is kind of important to the people.
Consistency.
Yeah,
is key,
it's not many live music plays in Ulsan.
Right.
So they in Seoul or different town, so they want to listen to some good stuff. So like jazz music, decided that 2 years ago I went to Seoul and the jazz bar. They played so many good music.
Right.
So Busan I know some people play a jazz band in Busan and Ulsan. So I invite them to they love to play to our place because our a place the atmosphere is
nice,
really
intimate
nice.
place,
because Western people know how to enjoy the live music a lot,
and not too big, not too small. It's a comfortable environment.
Yeah, that's reasonable. It's not really loud at all as well. So that's make the people should come more often, I guess.
Other than music, what other weekly events do you host at?
They used to host about like open mic night thing stuff Thursday. So not many people now is involved at all. It's kind of sad, but it's okay.
What kind of performance you had? Was it all music open mic or?
Yeah, they usually always music open mic night things.
You said the amount of musicians has gone down.
Yeah, now it's
significantly.
not many people just come to the open mic night anymore. And then now I used to had sometimes like a stand-up comedy one time hosted thing stuff, and they just like a one-time thing.
But what are your regular ones now? Trivia day night?
Trivia is up and down. Sometimes it's Sunday, each year another Sunday trivia night, but usually like weekdays we have like a wing night, Taco Tuesday thing stuff, Wednesday wing night, and the weekend is like the happy hour, always like a Sunday to the Friday, so only except the Saturday. So
Happy days.
Yeah, people just
So if you're looking for a place to go down and visit Chili at Sticky's.
Yeah.
Lots going on.
Yeah.
You told me before about Friday nights used to be 1+1 on the well cocktails.
Yeah, but now it's like a upgrade the sizes. Like you can order single, we can give you double.
But you mentioned before that a group of my old students, they use Becky's or the Kazakhs, who used to come down?
They used to come down still like a Friday, I know it's one guy's name Arabic, and those guys they love to hang out, but there's only I think they liked us a lot because they always come to my place, get drinking
cheap drinks,
drinking a lot. Sometimes I let him to the really comfortable, not judging anything. Just they just hanging out themselves. That's it.
But I think you used to tell me they would leave at 11:59 when happy hour closed.
They loved all of the before couple drinks before the midnight, like a Cinderella.
And then go to Thursday.
Cinderella. All of the couple of drinks before. That's Cinderella mood.
Did you ever have any problem with underage?
Underage. No,
because I know
Korea is a huge problem about underage thing stuff. But most underage.
That's because so many people don't know their age.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I sometimes doesn't know this girl looks like 25, but I should have an ID check because they have too many makeup on it. Yeah. I sometimes ID check. That time is really like a kind of January. That's a change in time. Yeah. So I ask the ID a lot.
We used to have a friend who was an engineer, and his son was 16 maybe.
16, 17.
And he was a bar animal, but he just knew that nobody, and that was probably 6 years ago?
Yeah.
But they didn't, underage, and that wasn't a problem then, and foreigners, they rarely would ask you for ID. So he used to go, he used to be a famous at Beat Bar in the basement there. He used to love that place. And once he found out how fun and easy it was to go, he used to just love it.
I think that's but the thing is, if he get problem, trouble with the fighting
in the bars,
and there's the searching backing they make the track about where did you get really drunk, where did you go, where did you buy the drinks, blah blah blah. That guy a huge trouble.
Right.
Yeah. Sometimes I think nowadays they doesn't have many underage foreigners in my bar. Maybe different place. I don't know.
I know Thursday party's quite
adamant.
Yeah, about the ID.
I think they always checked down no matter what.
But they got caught twice and shut down twice.
Really?
Right.
Maybe.
I've walked in 2 or 3 times without ID, and they're like, where's your ID? I'm like, I don't have, but I have pictures of my kids in a bald spot. Does that count? No.
I think, that's why it's strict about the ID things about all of the place in Samsandong, in the club. The thing is you guys doesn't know about why they showing the ID. Because you guys are younger, or because you guys they cut about the vibe about they show you the ID. Oh, you're too old. Just go. That's lots of club does that a lot. Because they ask all of the people at ID, and then you little bit older, you just can't go inside.
Or you're a foreigner. You can't go inside.
Yeah, sometimes some
still
downtown.
People does it.
Some people does that.
Hey, when I was in Russia, they used to do face checking. you go to the door and it's Vladimir Klitschko and his brother, and there are two brick shit houses standing there, and you show him your ID.
Yeah.
He doesn't care about the ID. He just looks at it and he says, "No," and you just turn around and walk because otherwise he'll throw you outside.
Yeah.
But they would just go based on your appearance, 100% your appearance.
Outlook.
You're not pretty enough. You're not handsome enough,
I think they have a rule about the Korean club too,
and they call
So
it
you have
face
like
checking.
Yep, it's like outlook, like you wearing like the slippers.
Yeah.
And the too drunk.
Dress code.
Dress code. Some people like really drunk and they cannot go inside.
But you hear lots about it in Seoul on lots of social media of the discrimination against different types of foreigners, different regions of foreigners.
Should the bar owner reserve the right to let who he wants in and out?
Yeah,
I mean, don't. I think you should have the right to refuse anyone. But I mean, if you want to make your decision based on face color or ethnicity, then I think ideally he'll just weed himself out. No,
Because you can't tell what's the difference between an Indian Indian and a Canadian Indian.
I have no idea.
They look exactly the same. One has this passport, one has the other.
I just like people just. I already know that this guy going to make a problem. And then I just like no, you cannot go inside because I already had experience. You come and the problem.
I think I know that guy, or a couple of them.
Yeah, it's anonymous.
hypothetical.
Yeah.
Anonymous.
Yeah, so it's because people want to have a fun time about they are paying the money and the drinking, so they doesn't want to get interrupted to somebody that really doesn't want to be in the situation. Yeah. So my ability, I have to be stop to them because I have to be protect somebody had a get problem. I don't want to get. We haven't any huge biting in my place because I prevented it. It's stopped it before it happening.
Referee, bar owner, and referee.
So a couple of yellows go.
You gotta wear your
too many yellow cards.
Striped shirt from now.
So I'm curious, moving forward, what do you? I mean, Korea is a huge puts a huge emphasis on job stability, big company, Samsung, Hyundai, get a good job, be a government employee. Yeah. You're not in that situation. Did you ever have pressure that maybe this wasn't the way to go and that it might affect your future? And moving forward, looking into pensions and securing your future, do you plan on doing this for 50 years, for 10 years? Do you think you might move into somewhere else, or it's all up in the air?
I think I have. First time I had decided about learning the business, being the bar owner or restaurant owner, because when I get 45 or 50 years old, if I had
next year,
yeah, a couple years later, probably I go to get fired or retire.
Right.
And if I had a big company, maybe 공무원, the government servant is a different story.
Yeah. But also changing.
But it's kind of also what they do about when they retire. They don't have any experience about being a business owner or most people just go directly open the chicken place.
Right.
Yeah, fried chicken
and close 6 months later. Yeah.
So I decided it because I want to had a experience a lot, and then that age I probably could open the business
comfortable and set up.
Yeah.
Smart.
That's why I does that. But starting in future, maybe I changed my mind a lot, but most time thinking in the future, maybe 10 or 20, maybe 20 years later, I just kind of really relaxed life, try to working hard, same as Korean kind of mind things.
Do you ever think of maybe setting it up? Your bar has its own reputation, its own clientele, and you can take a break from there, and somebody else can run it.
Oh yeah, or I think I can selling somebody if I want to.
No, and I think Nate's saying
you can take. Yeah,
you're relaxing on the golf course in the Philippines, and someone's managing the bar, and you're still making a passive income.
Yeah, if your bar is learning that way really well, I probably do that, and then I don't know. These days, I probably just this time about the having this, like I decided surviving. You have to survive a little well, and having to make it the setup about the next level kind of a little bit easy. I can close about like a month. I can do something about it, and maybe in the future I try to do it about being the business owner, about do like a kind of a break time thing stuff. Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe if I want to selling my place in the future, maybe I probably have another backup plan thing. Yeah. But I probably renting to somebody have a good like a good takeover somebody. I don't know.
I think the important thing too is that, you know, in your early 30s and well, you said you want to do maybe until 45. The important thing is that I think you're doing what you want. You're enjoying your work, you know, as opposed to, like we said before, getting a safe company job, something you're not so passionate about. These are
high stress, high pressure, not enjoying it.
Kind of our golden years. You don't want to wake up and dread every Monday, like, oh, I gotta go to the company, gotta go to the office. I think in your line of work.
Yeah, that's like also that income is really stable. That's like a business owner. There's another stress. Then they are like, I think equal. Like you can get stressed for go to work.
Stress isn't always bad. That could be a motivator too. Right?
And everything is being stressed. That you can be in a business or your own business or get stressed. You have like a you know, the company guy and a working stable job.
Right. Different kinds, right?
Yeah. But it's flip the coin. Side. Like one side coin, back side coin, kind of things. Right. You can enjoy it about your life. Oh, this is your like it, but they get another stress. But I think these days Korean people also is like a kind of a little bit slowly change about their like a vision about their like a future.
Right.
Like, lots of people like quit the job so early, get on the business because
start a YouTube channel,
and then they doesn't want to make the get stressed. Also, kind of they have a family or a parenting thing stuff. They don't want to get parenting stress a lot about the go to hagwon everything, and the kids kind of stress. Doesn't have many time to hanging out the kids.
Yeah,
that kind of things too. Like a lot of people change a lot. I think now it's a little bit change. Maybe in 10 years later, who knows?
Do you think? Do you in the future? Do you think about having kids or not interested or
I don't know. Maybe. I'm not,
because that would change things drastically, right?
Yeah. I'm not 100% sure, but it's like most we're not going to having kid because maybe my age too. But so having kid also having different issue too as well. So maybe my job is not really stable. That's kind of one issue as well too. But yeah, I think having kid is good thing, but without kid, it has to also have a lot of good things too. As you can travel, have a good time.
Well, and that's very trendy now in Korea. The not getting married, no kids, and enjoy our life. And they've seen their grandparents work through the hard years. Their parents, work to make their lives great. But I think a lot of these kids see in their parents that they don't have that kind of freedom and so. Yeah, I think there's a new generation of your kind of age that just wants to have just freedom and not be tied down and bogged down by hagwons and all these costs and fees of living with kids.
Comforting, huh?
Yeah, I think also having a kid has to give you lots of good things stuff too as well.
Sure.
Yeah, definitely. But like a Korean kind of a single family thing stuff, like kind of things change a lot. Definitely change a lot. Yeah.
So what do you think is the best part of your job of being a bar owner and running the bar? What's the best part of your job?
Best part is I can drink what I want. I think the best part is like a working out ability. Ability, and then what is that? I can make lots of good friends too. Yeah. I don't have many kind of what is it? Having the friends it's so hard to meet somebody when you grow up.
Absolutely. As you get older, your social circle.
Yeah. and then I can meet lots of new people. That's like a good part, like a really good part about things. And bad part too. Like I met lots of assholes too as well. yeah. But it's most friend is like really friendly, and the bad part is like the working hours differently. I'm working, people not working time.
Yeah.
So that's kind of bad part, but.
You know what though, the good thing about that is that, you know, when you're when I lived in Canada, I did midnight shifts, I think, for the last year that I was in Canada. And I found the benefit was, you know, you get off work even after you sleep and wake up. I mean, you want to go shopping, there's no traffic, there's no anything. You're free to roam around the city. But
you can run your errands, do your groceries, whatever. Nobody's, and that's the same with us. Our schedule are pretty flexible. I go to Costco at 2 p.m. There's nobody there. It's beautiful.
I love that because they're like at 10 a.m. I go to 10 a.m. because I want a pre like an easy parking lot.
Right.
And stop about the sample from the make a line about the people just waiting like Korean ajumas crazy.
I'll wait 35 minutes for a piece of odang. I love it. I don't know if I told you a while ago. I was at Costco. Man, taking the escalator down.
Yeah.
3 ladies in front of me. Everyone's, you know, really into their phones. Yeah. And I looked at the bottom of the escalator. There was 50,000 won.
Oh.
I was like, oh, please don't see it. Please don't see it. They walked right over it. Yeah. I picked it up. I was like, yeah, I got 50. I'm going crazy on the cheese. I'm gonna, you know, get I got 50,000 won of free groceries.
Hey, this is Korea. Nobody keeps that stuff.
Hold on.
Everybody gets it back.
Hold on a second. I picked it up. I did my due diligence. I looked around. Yeah. Anyone tapping their pockets looking for it. There was only 5 or 6 people. The lady who works there took it out of my hand and went like, oh, that's not yours. I said, is it yours? No. It's mine. I found it. What are you doing? Oh, we have to report this. There was like 2 handoffs. She give it to a guy, give it to another guy. And they said, oh, we're going to submit this to the police and they're going to... Like, clearly, no one's going to call and say, I lost Oman. What does it look like? Oh, it's yellow. There's a lady on it, you know? I can't...
The most beautiful part of Korea, the honesty. Every foreigner has every foreigner in Korea could tell you a story about returning their things. You probably get it at the bar all the time.
Oh yeah.
Credit cards, wallets.
One story. It's like one guy had lost the cell phone, and the cell phone these days they have like a wallet cell phone things. They have a credit card, the cash, everything, and then he's like so drunk and he doesn't know about to leave the cell phone, and he just like go out the pay thing and go out to sit on the bench thing, and taxi driver is 10 minutes later he walk drove back and give it to the cell phone too as well. Wow. So I think that is kind of safety things. So
I like it. I mean, if it's a camera or a bag, you hear about on the buses, the KTX, the park, everywhere people turn it in, and I just don't think that's the case back home. I mean, your credit card's already got $10,000 on it before you can blink.
I sold when I first came here. I bought what was the kind of car? The little kind of sporty
Matiz?
No, the
Tiburon.
Yeah. I bought a used Tiburon. I think I paid $2 million or something for it. A few months later, I sold it for cash to a friend, and he gave me the envelope, and I put it in my pocket, and I left my jacket just laying on the table in the bar all night. Not totally. I mean, we were drunk, but totally forgot about it. Picked it up at the end of the night, and went, there's still $2,000 in my pocket. No one, it was a busy bar. It was quite nice.
I think it's like Korea is like you can leave the cell phone and wallet in the bar table. Yeah. No one touch it.
You guys are really making me feel bad about this.
Well, I'll tell you one last funny one before we wrap up here. I'm teaching at the college, and there's a class of all foreign students and a class of Korean students in the global business department. And when we break, a friend and I, a colleague and I, teach them 2 hours in the morning each. We have lunch and then we switch. And if you walk in the Korean room, their stuff is scattered everywhere.
Okay.
Purses, handphones, everything when they go for lunch. And when you go in the foreigners' room, there's nothing. They have every single item with them. And I laugh every time. Are they scared all their stuff's going to go missing? Look at the Koreans' room. Their stuff is everywhere. Yeah. Expensive. It doesn't matter. they don't worry about any of it, and I think that's an awesome thing about here.
Is that specific to Ulsan? I always wonder if that's because of Ulsan. I mean, it's a very affluent city.
I think maybe maybe Seoul kind of a little bit different these days. I think definitely different. I think Ulsan, that situation, the room and the school is like no one going to the come to like a stranger come to the steal anything,
But come on, everywhere, even at the park, you leave your phone on a park bench and you go back an hour later, it's still there.
Yeah.
And if it's not, you ask the Gwali Ajashi and he gives it to you. Wow, I'm always impressed at the honesty. Love it.
Yeah, that's the safety thing about it.
Good. Anyways, we looks like we're running short on time here. Shil, we want to thank you very much for coming and giving us an hour and 18 minutes of your time.
Yeah, no problem.
We really hope to have you back once we launch this and everything starts rolling. We'll have you back. There's so many other things that we can talk about, and getting the Korean perspective on things is always helpful for us and the people listening to know what
what it's like.
Yeah, to know what it's like.
Yeah,
Cool,
thank you for inviting me about it was a good time about to talk about a lot of different things stuff, and any chance I can jump it up in the future. No worries.
Awesome, guys. If you're not busy, if you're in the Ulsan area, make sure you check out Sticky Fingers in Samsandong behind
Holiday Night.
Holiday Night
Used to
changed
be.
the city
Eco Motel.
Eco Motel in front of the Eco Motel.
Next to Thursday Party.
Yeah, doesn't.
No,
Eco
Thursday
Motel.
party's next to Sticky Fingers.
That's
Okay,
right.
thank you.
Behind Lotte Department Store, right?
Yeah.
Check them out on Facebook. You got Twitter.
Yeah,
Sticky Fingers.
Twitter, and then the Instagram.
Just don't Google it.
Don't Google Sticky Fingers. Put your filters on.
You might get surprised.
Oh, sorry. What's your favorite? You got a favorite tune off the Sticky Fingers album?
Brown Sugar.
Brown Sugar. Well done.
There we go.
All right, dude. Thanks for coming. We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah.
Have a good day, everyone.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Yeah.